Good morning, traders. New York session starts in a few minutes and I will show you what the market's going to look like for today and how to trade it. Let's go to the charts. The same as always, what we talk about is dominance of Tether, USDT. Well, as you know it better than me, the last week was a very tough week and we've had a lot of ups and downs. But most importantly, we were just in a jam. We were just in one range, in one consolidation. And it was very, very hard for us. So as you can see, even all the candles in the daily, they look like candles in 1 minute time frame. It looks very small and it looks without any lack of momentum. You can see how large the shadows are without any big candle or any major trend or any major direction. And we are still here. But we can see on the daily time frame that the price is trying to push back. But we are still here. Remember that we're not, the day is not over. And if the same daily candle closes like this, there is a good chance that we can see this lower bottom, okay? This lower order block here. So this is very important. The candle that I'm showing you, I will show you also in some other bases. So remember this candle and also understand that the candles matters the most when we're talking about the higher time frames. All right. So I'm going to tell you this, which is very important. When we're talking about the lower time frames, we may use other techniques such as Fibonacci, smart money concepts, ICT, Wyckoff, or other structures or other styles of trading, right? But when we're talking about higher time frames, what matters are the most simple and most basics of the trade, such as the candlesticks, the moving averages, or the most basics of the trading. So try to understand and try to make better sense of this so you better understand it. In the higher time frames, everything looks very easy. But on lower time frames, that's where the volatility is a lot. There's a lot of different fluctuations. So we have to use other styles and a little bit more complex styles to make better trades. All right, let's continue on the dominance of Tether. So we can see that we have the low of the previous day here, and we have the high here. Well, the high, it's fine because I highly doubt that we're gonna meet the high today, but at least closing above or below this matters for us on dominance of Tether. If we close above this, above the previous high, there is a good chance that we can still meet the previous high of here, okay? But if we don't close above this, and if we close like this, so below the blue line, there is a good chance that we can meet here, all right? The day is still not over. Do not rush into it. Just wait and for the good positions, okay? And remember, you can also use the same highs and lows as the resistance and support, okay? So the support here is when we touch here in the lower time frame, when we touch this blue line, there's a good chance that we see a bounce. It's a good trade. It's a good position for us. All right, now let's move on to the 4-hour time frame and see what we have here. On the 4-hour time frame, and I will also get rid of this line. It's a very important line, but anyways, I will get rid of it. On the 4-hour time frame, as you can see here, what we have here is we made a high here, so there was a higher highs all the way. We grabbed the liquidity from here and we went all the way to the top. But as you can see, the candles were very weak. They couldn't make big green candles. All they could do, as you can see, just making shadows all the way. And it was more or less obvious for us that there might be a good chance that we can go lower from here. The reason was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You can understand this by making sure that you know the liquidity, how the liquidity works. So as you can see, we've had this low here and this shadow here, it grabbed the liquidity from the bottom, right? Once it grabbed the bottom, we expected to go way higher than this. We expected more green candles one after another, but instead it was just making more range here, more consolidation. Even by grabbing this liquidation, it couldn't even close above this high. It couldn't even close above this high. So you can see it had to go back, it had to pull back and then move on. And still it couldn't close above it, just a shadow and then continuation. So that's why the trend was very weak and we expected to see something like this. All right, and this pattern, this is a very classic pattern. It's a very also very standard in trading. We see this a lot. Okay, so once we have one high here and we have the low and we have the high here, and once we broke below this low, then there's a good chance that we meet these the next liquidity zone here, as you can see. So I'm going to also put one. So this is our low here. It's a little bit lower, to be honest. It's about here, but it's fine. So it should be the lowest point, the lowest amount in here. And right now, this one, it's the liquidity grab. So I'm not gonna consider this because this was my high here, and this is the low. This is the next high. This was just the liquidity grab here. And once we take this, there's a good chance that we meet lower, but the lower lows, and also there's a good chance that we are starting a new trend. So up until here, it was a bullish trend. But once we have this pattern, so we have the lower highs, and also we break the previous low, it may give us a change of character. It may give us the change of direction so that we can see more bearish from here. But from here, we have to understand that this is a 4-hour time frame, even 1, 2, 3 candles. It's gonna take a lot of time. It's not going to be the best for scalpers, but this is good to understand the entire general market's direction. All right, so we are trying to see a higher lower lows. We are trying to see, for example, this 8.38, but the thing is, we are still going to have some pullback. We are going to make structures. We are going to go a little bit above. So for example, let's say if I put the Fibonacci here from the top to the bottom, okay, and this will be something like this. Okay, there's a good chance that we can meet here or even lower. So all the way up to this order block that we've had hit here. Okay, there's a good chance that we can meet here. But for now, again, this is a 4-hour time frame. We are going to see a lot of other range and consolidations, other structures here. We're not going to rush into it. It's going to be something for future. But this is very important. So I will put 2 of these here so you have a better understanding. We are making the lower lows here, and from here, if I put a Fibonacci here, the levels matters. So what I can do, okay, I'm gonna use this one instead. What matters is the 50% for us. Okay, as you can see here, oh shoot, let me get rid of the right extension here. From here, as you can see, the price is trying to reach here. Once we reached here, and once we see some reaction from here, there is a good chance that the price can move lower. Even, to be honest, when a new trend starts, we usually don't see the 50%. So I don't really expect this to happen, but this would be my worst case scenario. All right, we're talking about the trend. We're talking about understanding the trend. This is not about making positions. It's not about making scalp positions. Okay, usually they go lower from the 30% or at about 20 to 30% when a new trend starts. So remember, we had the previous uptrend and now we have our current downtrend, right? So unless this is a false new trend for us, unless it's a false bearish trend for us, there's a good chance that before we meet here, we can go lower. So there is a good chance that we can come here and go lower, or at worst case scenario, we can come here, shadow a little bit up and then go lower. So this is where we are going to look. And the reason that I chose the 50% is mostly because we grabbed all the liquidity from the shadow here. Okay, let me get rid of the Fibonacci. So you got the level, right? This is a level for us. So we grabbed the liquidity from here. So there's also another good chance that we can meet a little bit above this to grab more liquidity and then go lower. But in any case, if we break above this, if we have a 4-hour candle closes above this, the entire bearish momentum of the dominance of Tether, meaning that it's a bullish trend in the Bitcoin, will be falsified. All right, we're gonna get rid of it. All right, so this is what we have for a 4-hour time frame. On the lower time frames, I think you know this better than me. So we do have our supplies. You do have, if you don't have the chart, the strategy trader chart, definitely get this. It's very simple, very straightforward. You can see we have the supply zones, we have the demand zones, we have this bearish order block. Wow, this is good. It's actually, it aligns with our here with our the box that we've had here. So there's a good chance that we can meet here and then go lower from here, or at worst case scenario, we can meet this bearish order block and then from here we can go lower. All right, let's move to the Bitcoin and see what we have on the BTC side. I'm gonna start with weekly time frame. The weekly time frame on Bitcoin, it's very interesting. What we have here is, again, the candles on higher time frame matters. Okay, what we're talking above daily, so daily, weekly, monthly, the candles, the way they're closed or they're opened, it really matters. Right now, as you can see, from here, let's talk about here, okay, these two candles, the red one here and then the green one here, okay? These two candles right now, as you can see, so the red one and the green one, they got supported from this zone, this red box that I have here, okay? They got supported from this red zone, and there's a good chance that from here, so we expected the price to go higher. Imagine the price, the movement went up. From here, we had a pullback, and from this pullback, the red candle, it was our pullback, right? So from the red candle, here we have the green candle. We expected to be supported and go higher, but it could not break above this red candle. It could not close above it. So what happens was that the week after that, this red candle, once it shows that it has lack of momentum, right now, as you can see on the weekly time frame, it closed below the low, the previous low. Okay, let me get rid of the drawings here so you can see this better. As you can see here, this is our low here. Oh shoot, let me grab this a little bit longer. Oh no, well, actually not close below the low, but we closed below the opening of this. Okay, so it shows that this support, the red support that we made here, it was not as strong as it was supposed to be. So we went back to this level, and it couldn't even close above the support that I have here, this red box. So from here, what it shows us, you can see that how red it became even below this low. It shows us that the lower time frame, sorry, the going lower here, going bearish, there's a good chance that we can continue going lower. Okay, so this is another thing that goes up for me. Also, once we're in the beginning of the week, so this is the first day of the week. Once it's green, there's a good chance that it can be a shadow of the entire weekly, right? So for example, you see this shadow here. Imagine once they were here, the price went all the way up here, and everyone thought that it's going to be green, but then no. It was just a shadow. It went all the way down here, okay? Now the same thing can happen here. Right now you can see the green body, but this is the first day of the week, and there's a good chance that we can go a little bit higher. And from here, for example, let's say the 50% of it, I will show you later, it can go lower all the way to the 60%. And also in my another analysis, if you remember from here, I've already this is what I had in my mind, that there's a good chance that we can go lower to the 60%, so say 60,000. Let me go to the daily time frame, but in any case, the weekly has just started. So if this green body turns into a wick, it turns into red, then there is a good chance that we can meet 60,000, okay, from here. Another reason that I think this might be plausible, it can be possible. The reason is that you can see that we touched this both the red box here and the green box. The green box is in 4-hour time frame. Let me go to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we've had this order block here, and we tried to touch it and we tried to go higher, but it was very, very hard for it to go higher. So there was one touch from here, we've had it from here, and then another one, another one was here, so another one was here, and here we are right now. So even right now, it could not really close, make more green candles from here, and it is trying to go lower. But what we can see here, we have a trend. When we have a trend, from the top to the bottom, we draw a Fibonacci. On the Fibonacci side, we draw the 50% and see what we have in different levels and different zones. As we can see here on the 50%, we do have one nice higher high here. So sorry, higher low here. So we've had this high here, had this low, we had this high, and then here we are. There's a good chance that we can meet 64, and then from 64 we can go lower, okay? But still, we can't make any assumption. You have to wait. I'm not a magician. This is not a prediction. This is analysis. We have to understand that we have to wait and see what is the reaction to this box. My job is to give you the important boxes, the boxes or the zones that we know that the price reactions to these zones matters for us. Right now, whatever happens here, if it goes higher or lower, doesn't matter, because this is not an important box. This is not an important zone for us. But this green box, it matters for us. If we close above it, then it means that we have the continuation of the bullish momentum. But if we touch here, and if we make some range here and go lower, then we know that our next target is going to be 60K. All right, so we have this line, and we know that we can rely on this, and there's a good chance that we can hit it from here. It's still trying to grab more liquidity. So again, 4-hour time frame. If I go to the lower time frame, like hourly, you can see that it's making a double top here. So there's no break above the previous high. This was our high here. We couldn't break above it, just a shadow. Shadows doesn't count, so there's a good chance that we can come here and then move up all the way to the here. On lower time frames, we know that how to trade it. We have all the levels also in the hourly and 15-minute time frame. You can see that there are a lot of shadows here, so it's still not done. There are a lot of good levels for us here. So this is one level for trading here. Another level for us to trade is this one. So you can see that the price came all the way down here. Also, even if I can move this a little bit lower, yeah, here. These two are good levels for us that the price can touch and then move up all the way to the 64K. But remember, this is just a short term, and then in the long term, there's a good chance that we can hit the other ones. There's also another thing that is very interesting for me. Shoot, Doge USDT. Okay, on the Doge USDT and many other altcoins, what we can see right now is there's a huge consolidation. So if I go to the daily time frame, you can see that there is a huge consolidation. You can see how price got jammed here all the way down here, and it's like a compact spring. It's waiting for to go higher. It's waiting for explode. So this is what we're expecting. Even if I want to show you just from the previous, since last year, this was our last year's high. This is our last year high, and you can see that there's literally, it's just like in a line. It's moving on a line, right? This was our last year's high. So we went all the way to the 30 cents. I thought we went to the 40 cents. Yeah. It was from the 2 years ago we went to the 40 cents. So if I want to go to the 2 years, the previous all-time high of the 2 years, you can see the 48 cents, and here we are on a line. This is the most interesting part. Remember, the same line that you can see here, even very weaker, very slower ones was here. You can see that we've had it here, exactly like you can see here. You see how beautiful it is? So we've had it here, we went all the way up, it got exploded at some points, right? This is what I expect from Dogecoin right now. The same here, you can see that we've had this one here or two, but this one, it just tried to get rid of the early or impatience traders. So it gave them a small high, just a few percent here, just like about 70% from here, but then it went up all the way to 270% and even more. And I'm not talking about 2021, okay? I'm not talking about 2020. I'm talking about just 2 years ago. So we're not talking about any hype or any pumps. This is just 2 years ago. I'm not talking about the 80 cents Dogecoin that we've had just a few years ago. But right now, you can see that it is trying to make higher highs, and it is trying to grab as much liquidity as possible. It's trying to accumulate as much as possible. So these are good levels to buy Dogecoins. Again, not financial advice, but if you're looking into it, if you want to consider it, or if you want to talk to a professional, these can be good levels that you can show and you can consider. So from here, as you can see, we are compacted here. The only thing that matters and is concerning me a little bit here is we still haven't had any liquidity sweep. So the only part that matters is to understand that we need a liquidity sweep here, meaning that we need a shadow probably all the way to the 5 cents here. We can't even go lower, 62 cents, 5 cents. Again, you must, if you want to do this, you must not work on leverage. Okay, leverage ruins it. You have to work only on spot. You have to buy it and don't think about it if it wants to go on 4 cents, 5 cents, doesn't matter, because you know that in the long term it is going to go higher. And again, nothing is 100%, but there's a good chance that we can see some good hype from here, or at least all the way to the 8-9 cents, or even more. As you can see, just like a simple 70%, it's nothing for Dogecoin. It's going to give us the 11 cents for us. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope you liked it, and let me know in the comments if you have any other questions. I'm more than glad to answer. Have a good day.